Hey, hey, hey.
Hey, hey, hey! Welcome to a Thanksgiving episode with WTF Talks. I really
Hey, it's
miss my
Canadian
calling.
Thanksgiving, and I'm at I'm in the US with my family, celebrating Canadian Thanksgiving, and I'm really loving it. One one of the family traditions that we've always had on Canadian Thanksgiving is going for the last boat ride of the year. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm so excited today to be going for the first boat ride of the year. Like this is when boating in Florida gets awesome. We
It's
boat
not
12
your.
months a year here, but
I was gonna say, I was like, it's October. You can't say that this is the first boat ride of the year. This is your first boat ride of like the chilly winter season, though.
okay, that's fair. That's
Yeah,
fair. That's fair.
because
I
the
love
last two
boating.
days have been cold here.
I've been shopping for a boat for so long, like a new big boat,
Dave
but I'm not buying it
has
yet.
a shopping addiction. He loves to look. He loves to have something to like be scrolling through and looking at and swiping on. And I think specifically negotiating about. Like, I think that you just love to negotiate. And so I think that you love to be having like multiple conversations and streams going about something that just doesn't really matter, that you're like, whatever, I'm gonna walk away.
Well, and I
Um,
also I'm deal addicted. I'm definitely deal addicted. And so
yes.
if I can be like scouring the internet for a deal that everyone thinks is insane, I love those things. And
Right.
sometimes they
Like,
blow up in my face. Like, let's be honest. Um, I've got some really bad, great deals.
mhm.
Um, but yes, I am a bit deal addicted. Are you
Yes.
deal addicted? Are you idea addicted?
Oh, I'm idea addicted. That's for certain. I am so sorry to all of my friends. Even just like two, I was thinking about because we're gonna host a Friendsgiving, I think, in the next little while. And I really wanted to do one this weekend and be like, come celebrate Canadian Thanksgiving with me, but it didn't work out. But anyways, we're gonna do it in a couple weeks. And I was just thinking about all of my different friends that I was thinking to invite. And I was like, so many of them would just come and be like, yeah, Hannah sends me stupid lists of ideas too. Like, how do you know her? And I'm just like bless your hearts because like my brain just doesn't stop. And like last week I was working in this new space with this guy who's starting a bar, and I was like, I've always wanted to start a bar, but I've never wanted to start a bar. So I have this list of all of these ideas. Can I send it to you? Would that be really intrusive? Use it as a digital paperweight. I don't care. Don't like do nothing with it. But I'd rather you have it than it just sit on my phone. And he was like, absolutely. And then he loved a bunch of them, was like, that's great. And then a couple days later, I had an idea for Megan, and I was like, you got to do this. Like, this is such a good idea. And I just always feel so bad because I'm like, these are like, I don't want to be intrusive. I don't want to be coming and telling you what you should be doing, but also like, I have the ideas and I'd rather just like I'd rather tell them and then be like, that one's not for me and disregard it
So
than just have it stuck in my brain.
what are a couple of ideas that you haven't been giving to other people to do, but you still have hopes of like, I want to execute on this one myself. Like this is a great idea and I'd share it with somebody else, but I really, really, really want to do this.
Vending machines. I really want to do vending machines so
Really?
badly. Like I just am always scrolling on Facebook Marketplace and there's always a different vending machine for sale and I'm like, I could just try it. Like I could just buy it and
You want to
try
buy
it.
one or two
Yeah,
to
and
get a
just give
feel
it a
for
shot.
it?
But I just think that there's such like depending on where you can put it, and I just have such a heart for college students, so my brain immediately goes to like putting it in a
Sure.
university library or since I've been talking to that guy who owns a bar, maybe like in a bar somewhere, what that would look
Sure.
like, but just like different things that they would need that people wouldn't think to put in a vending machine. And I just think that like in those specific places, it would be so great. Like at the library, you can do like a mini Staples or like at
But like,
the
whoa, wait, time out.
okay.
Do you really want to be the purveyor, the seller, the profiteer off bad decisions that college students are making in bars, and like all the
Well,
kind of trash you'd have to put in that kind of.
okay, I
If you have a
am
really
not.
profit-minded mindset, the stuff you're going to sell in that is like, it's got to be icky to buy it.
That's that's a very fair statement. And while there are decisions that I wouldn't make, there are ways to do decisions that I wouldn't make smartly, intelligently, wisely. I don't know how to say that word well.
Okay, so,
But
yeah,
so
not wisely.
there are tools that I can give them that can help them prepare themselves to make those decisions
Right.
the safest that they can. And so I don't feel so icky about that, but I also think that there's so many other things that you can do. Like if it's at a bar, you can put like a stream of like if it's in a girl's bathroom, black purses, like a purse breaks. I know where we can go get one right now, all downtown, like, and it draws them in. And like think about if it's like in a girl's bathroom and it's like the mall, and it's just like you have like a stream along the bottom. It's like
All the different,
shirts, like small, medium, large, all black, all simple, but like your
but
strap breaks.
you got
Where
a
are you gonna
drinking
go? What are you gonna do?
drink on your
I know
shirt.
where we're going. Or like just like little things like that that wouldn't be in a typical vending machine, but if you're
Okay.
like if the vending machine is known enough, it can be like that last safe haven for all of those people in that
Well,
downtown core.
it actually could be an attraction to the bar to have the right
Things.
vending machine in there. Oh, that's really interesting. That's a great sell to the
That's
barkeep,
what I'm saying.
right? Okay,
So
cool. Okay, so that's a really interesting idea. I'm still like, I am going to own a laundromat someday.
I
It's just,
I want to do that for you.
it's
Wait,
gonna
not
happen
for
for
you.
me.
Not for you. Let me take that off the record. That was digitally said. I don't know how that fell out of my mouth. I'm so excited for you about that. And I want to help you with it. But that's gonna be so
Yeah.
cool.
I
Like
don't want to
there's
own 10 of them. I just want to have a place to go when I'm retired
to click
to
quarters.
to collect quarters and allow Rhonda the peace of quiet of me not in the house.
I appreciate that you think that that's gonna work, but that's not the way that your brain functions. That's a fun side hustle and is a great way for you to make money, but your brain, similar to
Is
my
broken.
brain, doesn't slow down. And the second that that is set up and like actively functioning, the operational upkeep of that is so minimal compared to what you're used to. You're gonna be so bored. There's no way.
Well, and so then I might need to build a mini network across North America. But we'll see.
Something like
We'll see
that.
what happens. Because when you build the operational efficiencies for one, then the ability to expand. Anyways, I
Well,
see it is a problem.
I think that you're, and this is where the idea thing comes back. I think that your concept around like creating little ecosystems that you can plug into churches is really cool. Like there are already these little environments that currently exist that have money running through them they want to give back into. If you create something that can like support the people. Like since I've been little, have thought about like, I mean, sitting in Harvest Kids having my hair cut pre going to the actual auditorium 9, 10, 11, little have thought about like why don't churches have small businesses in them where there's someone who has like where there's a hairdresser, where there's uh, a
A
dental
mechanic
assistant,
shop.
a
A
mechanic
mechanic shop.
shop, a whatever, but like all of these things that everybody goes to that they're already there. Okay, anyways.
Here's a shout out to Chad Ballantyne. Why not have a co-working space
Oh,
in the
absolutely.
church? Like a
Absolutely.
little entrepreneurial incubator that draws young Christian solopreneurs and small business people into a co-working space in a faith community where they can be discipled by people that have been down the road of business before, but can also help house them and help launch them to be great businesses in their community that are for Jesus, for profit, and killing it
Yeah.
on the street. There's so many business people in the church.
Yeah. Well, but here's the difference between doing a lot of business in Canada and a lot of business in the US, right? Like in the US, it is just
Oh,
like the two lines are so blurred. It's such a difference.
well,
So that's just like
there's
a couple months of like a mental shift from one kind of like, is it like a business culture kind of? I don't know. What would you call that?
entrepreneurial spirit. It's like Americans are pushed, cajoled, um, programmed to respect small business. And so they seek it out as buyers,
Mm.
and they admire people that have the chutzpah, to take it on. And in Canada, that's true to an element, except government is out to crush them as small business owners, um, in my opinion. So, but we've done very well in a small business in Canada, and certainly lots of people do. But you have to be really mindful of the regulations, and you have to be very um, buttoned up in your approach to it in a way that protects you. In the US, you have to be really buttoned up too, but it's more for legal concerns. So Americans run super professional organizations with um, but it's the insurance and the fear of liability and lawsuit that keeps you in check. In Canada, the government keeps you in check. Um, and there's a whole conversation about
Interesting.
that and um, Driver Inc. and stuff, and we're gonna past it. But you're wearing a Revolution Staffing shirt. I'm wearing a Revolution Staffing shirt today, and
After our talk with Trish, we're both feeling very encouraged to bring back the brands. Yeah, well, we were both just kind of like chatting on FaceTime before we hopped on here, and I was looking at my closet. If you were gonna take a guess at how many pieces you have, how many do you think it is?
pieces that I own.
Yeah,
Well, one, I've never thrown out a single piece of Revolution Staffing, Essential Staffing, Help Unlimited, Better Together gear. So like
that's
I've
sad
got,
because the other day you showed up like on Friday to Ryan and Bradley's place and wearing a BTG shirt that you had flown in was great. So reasonable for you to be wearing it, but showing up to a work site. Um, and
yeah,
that
to a
thing
painting party,
was white and is no longer. So there's no way that that thing shouldn't be
right?
trashed.
Right. And when I was putting that one on in the morning, I was like, hey, is there a little shady spot right there in the middle of my chest where someday a chunk of grease fell off of a burger onto my stomach? But I love wearing logo gear. I would, and Stano and Steven are like all about the uniform look. And gosh, I love wearing a uniform. I love like every morning I'm going to put on a pair of twill pants and a golf shirt or twill pants and a button down shirt and just go. I don't need to think. Do
I
you
don't
do you
relate to
like
that.
do you like no, because you wear different stuff all the time. Like you're like in
Yeah,
comfy clothes as much as you can.
yeah, well, I am the queen of changing. Like, I will change the second that I can to be in something more comfortable. But that comes from, like, I truly think that that just comes from a lot of stomach pain and, like, just the way that pants sit
Sure.
and whatever. And so I'm always like, whatever's the most comfortable, like, let's go.
That's reasonable. Well, the
Um,
funny thing about you is you fly in different clothes than you wear. So you'll
yes,
fly in comfortable clothes and then go to the restroom and try and change in the icky airport restroom into business clothes.
I do change successfully. And I just stand on top of my shoes. It's not a big deal. I'm sure it's Anyways,
It's hilarious.
but yes, I love changing and have since the time I was a little kid. Like mom, when I was like 4 years old or 5 years old, I was changing so much and so consistently and creating so much laundry that she took all of my clothing away. And she gave me one pair of pajamas and one outfit. And she was like, you'll wear this and only this. And she washed it every night and it was always clean, but it was the same thing. And it didn't work because
For
I
like a week.
still
We did that for like a week or more. And it was like when the clothes came back, you were just the same clothes hog you always were.
I just love changing. Anyways, different vibe for my different moods, and I have a lot of different moods. So,
That's fair.
but
That's fair. Okay, so on the biz front, we wanted to talk a little bit about WTF Talks, and we have upcoming, we're going to start having more guests on, and I'm super excited about it. Do you want to talk about this for a minute?
absolutely. Oh, you want
Um,
me to say something about it, or you just want
sure.
to?
No, no, you riff off of me. So we're going to ask people that we have on questions about their WTF experience in life. So like at work, we're WTFtalks.work. And so we want the conversations to be about how have you shown up at work and worked hard, told the truth, and finished the job? And where has that been a challenge for you? And how did you overcome that challenge? And where has that been super easy for you? And what's the difference between those types of scenarios? And we're hoping to get really practical, interesting stories from people about their workplace experiences. Um, and so, um, do you have one quick off the top of your head about a place where you went to work and you had to WTF it to, oh, I like that phrase, where you had to WTF it?
Yeah, I think so many different examples. Which one's going to be really good? The one that comes immediately to mind would be the one that I would want to do the least, which was cleaning up feces out of snow pants and urine out of ski boots at Snow Valley Ski Resort at the ripe age of 14 years old. That was, yeah, that was great. I
Rental snow
loved,
pants, not a good idea.
I
Do not rent
loved,
snow pants. Do
don't rent
not
snow
rent snow
pants.
pants.
Don't rent snow pants. I loved that job. Loved, loved, loved that job. I could snowboard down the hill. You would pick me up at night. Lots of people from my school worked there. It was so much fun. But yeah, I think that it was hard work because it was my first job. And so I was a freshman or just a ninth grader. Look at me going a little American, sorry. I was a ninth grader. And so I was kind of like learning what it was like to be in high school, learning what it was like to kind of maintain that life between them all. And so that was a really capacity stretching experience.
Mm.
And then there's nothing that specifically comes to mind about tell the truth in that scenario. There was nothing that was really pushing or
Those borders for you.
yeah, that was a very PG-13, family friendly. Everything was pretty happy-go-lucky. But then when they handed me that snow pants with the poop inside of it, and I was like, I have to finish this job, like I have to clean these. And I just specifically remember not even the pants as much because it was more of like an upside down shake, throw them and spray them down and leave them to
How
soak and
clean were they really for the next person?
about as clean as I could get them without puking inside of them and creating a whole different problem.
But honestly, if you have a 14-year-old girl cleaning feces out of snow pants, they're only going to get them so clean.
They're only going to get them so clean. Like you're telling me that we didn't have a laundry. This is where the laundromat comes back into play. A laundry machine that we didn't take those things to run them through. We just had a little spray bottle with some sanitation to get the like odor out.
Yeah,
Anyways,
that is not sanitation. That would not pass COVID. I don't think that would not have passed COVID regs.
no, 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 no. Oh my gosh, I would come home from that place smelling like feet because I would spend the entire day just putting people's
In boots.
boots on their instead of, anyways. But the pee in the snow boots was actually so much worse because I had to like really get in there and like clean the boot out because it was everywhere. The poop was a little more solid, but this is now too much conversation about that.
Okay, wait. Yeah. Okay, so that's a good example. So So what's the life lesson that came out of that for you? What's the thing that
Any
um
day that I'm working where I'm not cleaning up human feces is a good day. And that's when I knew that I didn't want to be a nurse or a doctor. Shout out to our medical professionals. Bless your heart. Oh
my bank
man.
account's really glad that you didn't want to be a doctor or um, a nurse.
Yeah.
So, well, that's a good learning. And so those are the types of things we're going to talk about with other guests. And we really want to find and help people um, understand the value of that kind of work hard, tell the truth, finish the job mentality and how it plays out in the work environment, and to hear some stories about good employers and good employees and bad employees. I've got lots of stories about bad employees, like when I was a bad employee. And so I can contribute on that side of things, and you can tell about how good of an employee you are, and it's a learning opportunity for people.
Do you have a quick example of those?
Of me being a bad employee?
No, of a WTF from your own experience. Or you can tell us about it being a bad employee. We'll get all the stories eventually.
Sure. Yeah, I would say that a work hard, tell the truth, finish the job story for me. Probably work hard was the like when I was a stock boy at Woolco, the predecessor to Walmart in the Argyle Mall in London, Ontario. And one of my favorite parts of that job is I was like the maintenance guy. So the worst was cleaning up the ladies' bathroom. Ladies' bathroom was always the most disgusting bathroom. It's just like absolutely rancid. Um, but my favorite part of that job was when we would take down spent fluorescent lights, and then I'd take them back and throw them in the box. We had a cardboard compactor. It was only supposed to take cardboard into it, and other garbage, I guess, too. I don't think we were supposed to put the light bulbs in there because they'd be like 8 foot long light bulbs that are all filled with gas. And so you'd throw them in the compactor and then close the compactor, and there was a wall, like a steel door that you closed before you could compact it, and then it would explode in there, and it made the biggest bangs. And I loved that. But the other thing that we did was we took, like a pallet jack that you use in a warehouse.
Yeah.
Um, and we would race through the store after hours on pallet jacks. And we had little courses that we would do. And sometimes we would go like in the back warehouse, we could go two people side by side, and you'd end up, knocking people off into fire extinguishers and stuff. And sometimes we'd race around the store at night after people would go. So, not always working the hardest while I was on the clock,
Oh
but
my
I'm a fun
gosh.
coworker.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah. Well, but
And I
when
was
you
probably
still
late to work there a lot. Like I
would
almost
you
got fired for being
would
late.
you have been clocked in for those things? Or would you
For
have
sure.
clocked
For sure.
David? I was gonna say, I was like, it's one thing to like enjoy the facility that you're in, like for whatever. Like I remember working at Vertical Zone and having
At the
like
trampoline.
the best summer, just like always staying late and bouncing around at like 1 o'clock in the morning, and it was just so much fun.
Shout out to that
Um,
guy. What was that guy's name? He was a great employer for you.
Jeff McCabe, Jeff
Jeff
McCable.
McCabe.
He was a great boss.
I
Oh, we
think
would have clocked out.
the human resource lady at Woolco that um loved me because she loved my dad, because my dad taught her kids, and my dad helped their kids graduate elementary school or something. So she owed him, and then she paid him back by getting me and my older brother Todd jobs at Woolco at the Argyle Mall. And I think her name was Vera. I think her name was Vera. So shout out to Vera for the help getting my first job on my dad's reputation,
On your dad's
which I
reputation.
sullied.
Okay. All right. So we talked a little bit about crazy ideas. We talked a little bit about what's coming up. Is there anything else that we need to discuss in
I'm
regards to
looking forward to being
WTF?
in Toronto this week for um, driving, gosh, what's it called? Trucks for Change, Trucks for
Trucks for
Change,
Change,
Trucks for
and then
Change. Sorry, Betsy, I apologize. I love this organization. It is so good. Trucks for Change is an organization where trucking companies use excess capacity in their trucks to move food to um, areas across the country that need help getting food from a food bank network up to more remote locations. And it's a
Mhm.
very valuable and worthy cause. And so we're there this week because we support it. And we support the trucking companies that are doing it. And then in a couple of weeks, they're going to do a food sort challenge, which I might be back in town for.
Nice.
Um, and then also that night we have the um,
Feature gala.
trucking HR gala, which you're not coming to, but I will be
No.
there with bells on, and I'm super excited about it. It's going to be a great night.
Good. Yeah, I really wanted to go. I even have a dress and everything. And I was like, dang, to
Right.
the dry cleaner. But no, I absolutely just neglected my responsibility to find tickets for myself early enough and didn't work out. So next year I will be smarter and plan better, like my father. Never thought I'd say that before in my life.
Woohoo.
Um but it should be
Yeah,
a great event. Those are both great events. They were really great last year. And hopefully I'll be there next year.
that will be amazing. Looking forward to it. Well, hey, everybody, we just wanted to say thanks for hanging out with us at WTFTalks.work. We're really interested and wanting to contribute back to people and help them think about how they show up at work every day and that they give their fullness to their employer so that their employer can take care of them. The reality in life is when you take care of what other people need, they will take care of you. That's what Zig Ziglar always said, and I still believe it. And we're trying to work it out right here on WTFTalks.org.
Well, thank you for being a listener. See, I really think I should have been a radio host. Thank you for being a listener. Thank you for joining us. And next time we'll be back with someone new.
Have a great
Bye,
day, everybody.
everybody.